Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Yeah. So in the last class, did we start pair of straight lines? No, we didn't. No. Did we discuss the theory of this? No. Right.
No, we haven't.
Okay. So today we'll do pair of straight lines theory and a few questions, some questions, and then we might move on to circles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any
Uh-huh.
oblique coordinates kind of thing?
Is there any what?
Oblique coordinates topic.
That topic is not in syllabus, so you don't need to worry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'll tell you what we have to do. So we from circles onward, we'll start doing SL Loni. Actually, pair of straight lines also you can do one or two exercises. I'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
But quickly we'll get to the theory. So have you guys been doing the exercises of the motion sheets
Yeah.
or the straight lines? It's fine, no?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
You are getting it, right?
Yeah,
Or
only
Yeah.
pair of straight lines we have.
okay, so that we'll discuss.
Sir,
Uh,
circles chapters is there in the SLONI coordinate geometry, right?
yeah, everything is there.
Okay.
I
Because
will
I
tell
just
you.
got it today, so.
Okay, this is Bhavesh, right?
No, me.
This is
Akhil.
Akhil.
Yeah.
Okay. At one point, we'll have to meet so that I can know your face and the voice because right now it is like I cannot recognize any of you. So, okay. Yeah, circles is there. Everything is there in coordinate geometry. So, SLONA book. So, I will tell you which sections we'll be covering and which sections are not in syllabus and all. But first, let's just finish off this thing. So, basically, the idea is that this equation looks complicated. This equation looks very complicated, but it is actually going to represent everything that you learn in coordinate geometry. So coordinate geometry is a study of these 2-degree curves. So all of SLONI is basically a study of this equation. 2-degree equation in 2 variables.
Mm-hmm.
2 variables are x and y, and see that there are 2-degree terms here.
Yeah.
There are 1-degree terms, and there is a constant term, right? Here A, H, B, F, G, and C are constants.
Yeah.
And this is my general equation. Now this is what we are trying to understand. So the what happens is in different situations, this equation becomes, it is either a pair of straight lines, or it is a circle, or it is a parabola, or it is an ellipse, or it is a hyperbola. Okay, so it's one equation which becomes each of these different types of curves in different situation. So the major distinction is between this and this, right? Because these are curves and these are lines. This is a line pair, right?
Yeah.
So first what we need to learn is how to differentiate between them. Like when will this equation be a pair of straight lines and when will it be these things, right?
Yeah.
So what we will derive is a condition. The condition is this discriminant. This discriminant is 0. Okay. So notice that this is a nice discriminant. AHG, AHG, HBF, HBF, GFC, GFC, right? So it's a nice symmetric discriminant which can be expanded. If you expand it by Saras's rule, you will get ABC plus 2FGH minus AF square minus BG square minus CH square is equal to 0. if this condition is satisfied, how did we get that? We got it by ABC plus FGH plus
Yeah.
FGH minus BG square minus F square into A minus H square into C. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if this del, this is called a discriminant. If this discriminant is 0, then it is a pair of straight lines.
Okay.
And if it is not 0, it could be any of these. Okay. It could be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
circle, it could be a parabola, it could be a hyperbola, ellipse, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
obviously, when we go to the next few chapters after pair of straight lines, we will know more details of when is it a circle, when is it a hyperbola, when is it a parabola, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all those cases, del is not equal to 0. Okay. So
Yeah.
for example, circle, what will happen is A should be equal to B and H should be equal to 0.
Okay.
Okay. And in parabola, what should happen is H square should be equal to AB. And in ellipse, what should happen is H square minus AB is less than 0. And in hyperbola, H square minus AB is greater than 0. But we will come to that when we do the specific chapters.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just telling you for the sake of completeness. So what
Yeah.
we will do is these curves we will be studying. These curves are called together, they are called the conic sections. Because when you cut a cone, I mean, you can think of cutting a cone by a plane, and you can cut a cone in different ways and you'll get different shapes, and all these shapes can come. Even
Okay.
straight lines can come, which is
Yeah.
slightly weird, but you should go to some YouTube channel. There will be many which will explain how the shapes will come. Okay. It is
Yeah.
easier to visualize it on a video. Okay. So
Yeah.
Okay.
these are called conic sections, and basically these 4 chapters are major chapters in your coordinate geometry syllabus. This is the whole coordinate geometry subject. Okay. Straight lines and these conic sections. So right now we'll cover this. First we'll understand why is del supposed to be 0, right? For it to be a pair of straight lines, right?
Okay.
And then after that we'll go on to circles. So
Yeah.
so let's look at this equation. Ax square plus by square plus 2hxy plus 2 gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. Now, what I can do is to try to understand this equation, I can set it up as a quadratic in either x or y.
Yeah.
It can be framed as a quadratic in x or quadratic as y. Because it is a 2-degree curve in both x and y.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I will first do it as a quadratic in y. That choice is up to you. So ey square plus y into 2hx plus 2f plus ax square plus 2gx plus c, right?
Yeah.
This is my equation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a quadratic equation in y, no?
Yeah.
So I can immediately solve this quadratic for y, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y is equal to, I will just solve it by the formula, minus 2 times hx plus f plus minus root over b square. So 4 times hx plus f whole square minus 4 into b into ax square plus 2gx plus c
Yeah.
by 2 into b, right?
Yeah.
Now notice that this 4 will come out and 2 will cancel it and 2 will cancel this, right?
Yeah.
So this becomes y is equal to minus hx plus f by b plus minus 1 by b root over hx plus f whole square minus b into ax square plus 2gx plus c,
plus C.
right?
Yeah.
So now look at this equation for a moment and think about when it will be a straight line equation, right? So straight line equations generally have a form like this,
Yeah.
correct? And what we have in straight line equations is that both the powers are linear, right? Y
Yeah.
and x, it is a linear equation in y and x, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct. So if I have some complicated root stuff and all, right? Root stuff, then it will clearly not be a straight line. No?
Yeah.
Like here, it is a complicated quadratic of x here, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Inside the root, right? So it is clearly not going to be a straight line if I don't have something special happening here, right?
Yeah.
So what special thing can happen here? One nice thing could have happened like this. See, if it was like this, x plus 2 whole square, suppose, right?
Yeah.
Then it would have come out and become linear, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct? Then it is a straight line, no?
Yeah.
If the thing inside the quadratic is a perfect square,
then it's straight.
then it is a linear expression in y and x, right?
Yeah.
Which will become a straight line equation, right? And also notice that because there is a plus minus sign, that will mean that it will become two different straight line
Two
equations,
straight lines. Yeah.
right? So that will become a pair of straight lines, right?
Yeah.
So all we have to do is understand what it takes for this thing to become a perfect square, right? The thing inside the radical has to become a perfect square.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we will just do the condition for that. And once we write the condition, it will be the del is equal to 0 condition.
Okay.
So this radical has to be perfect square. So let's expand it a little bit. It becomes h square x square plus f square plus 2hxf minus abx square minus 2bgx minus bc, right?
Yeah.
So this is h square minus ab into x square plus 2hf minus 2bg into x plus f square minus bc, right?
Yeah.
This is my quadratic in x, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now notice that this is looking like this: hf minus bgx and h square minus ab into x square plus f square minus bc, right? Now, if it has to be a perfect square, it clearly looks like something like p square x square plus, it should be 2pqx plus q square. No?
Q squared, yeah.
Then only it will be, no?
Yeah.
That can be written as px plus q whole square.
Yeah.
Right? So what should be p square? This should be p square.
Yeah.
And this should be q square.
Q square.
And p into q should be this, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So p is equal to root over h square minus ab, and q is equal to root over f square minus bc, and pq should be equal to hf minus bg, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then only it will fit, no?
Yeah.
So we should have p square q square should be equal to hf minus bg whole square should be equal to p square q square is h square minus ab into f square minus bc, right?
Yeah.
Now expand it: h square f square plus b square g square minus 2hf bg is equal to h square f square minus bc h square minus ab f square plus ab square c, right?
Yeah.
H square f square gets cancelled, right?
Yeah.
Now notice that every term has an extra b.
B.
So b you can cancel, it becomes bg square, this becomes 2fgh, this becomes ch square, this becomes af square, this becomes abc, right?
Yeah.
ABC, yeah.
Now you arrange it like that, bring this side, this side, everything on one side, right?
Yeah.
It will look like this: abc plus 2fgh minus af square minus bg square minus ch square is equal to 0.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That is the condition that ensures that the thing inside the root is px plus q whole square, right?
Yeah.
Now just write down all of these terms, no, for a moment. Like
Yeah,
write
yeah.
down p, write down q, write down p and q you should write down, and write down this big expression because we'll be needing it on the next screen.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone has followed the derivation. It is very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Write down your p and q and the main expression so that this solution of the equation.
Yeah.
I wrote it so.
Yeah.
Okay then. So now so my y is equal to minus hx plus f, right, by b, something like this, right? Plus minus.
Yeah, plus minus 1 by b.
Plus minus, I don't want to write the inside part. I already know it is going to be px plus q, right?
Yeah.
After you take out the root, inside the root it was px plus q whole square, right?
Yeah.
If my del is 0, that is the condition that the root inside is px plus q whole square. P is equal to root over, tell me.
H square minus AB.
H square minus AB, and q is equal to
X square minus BC.
H square minus BC, yeah. Okay, so my equation becomes y is equal to minus, and there was a 1 by b also.
B also, yeah.
Right. So it is minus hx plus f by b plus minus px plus q. So p is root over h square minus ab into x plus root over f square minus bc by b, right?
Yeah.
So the two equations, okay, multiply by b throughout. So by is equal to minus hx plus f plus root over h square minus ab x plus root over f square minus bc, and the other equation is by is equal to minus hx. Okay, this is minus hx plus f like this.
Yeah.
And minus hx minus f minus of root over h square minus ab into x minus root over f square minus bc, right?
Yeah.
So now these are my two equations. So what I want is just basically the slope, okay? So I will collect the x terms together. Y is equal to this is root over h square minus ab minus h by b into x, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Plus some stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't even care about the rest of the stuff. I only care about the slope of that line, right?
Yeah.
So this is my y is equal to mx plus something. I don't care. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other slope is minus h square minus ab.
Yeah.
Minus ab minus h by b into x plus something, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting two different line equations, and my slopes of the line equations are m1 is equal to minus h plus root over h square minus ab by b, and m2 is equal to minus h minus root over h square minus ab by b, right?
Yeah.
These are my two slopes. You should write down these two slopes also. So
Okay.
these are the two results that are going to be really useful. Other things don't matter so much. You will not be solving it like this. These things you don't have to remember. You have to remember del. You have to remember the general equation, and you have to remember the slopes, and not the real slopes also, but we'll see as we go along. So write down these two.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So what are we getting? We are getting m1 plus m2 is equal to minus h plus root over h square minus ab plus minus h minus root over h square minus ab by b, right?
Yeah.
So this cancels out. So you get minus 2h by b, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And m1 into m2 is equal to, when you multiply it, it will become minus h whole square minus root over h square minus ab whole square, right? By b square, correct?
Yeah.
So this will become h square minus
Yeah,
h
yeah.
square plus ab by b square, which will become a by b, right?
Yeah.
These are the two main results. M1 plus, so if you have a pair of straight lines like this, by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0, right?
Yeah.
You have, when will it be a straight line? When will it be a straight line? When will it be a straight line pair of straight lines?
Yeah.
When del is equal to AHG, HB, HBF, GFC is equal to 0.
Yeah.
How will you remember this determinant? It is easy to remember.
Yeah.
AHG, the first two rows you need to remember, because after that you can fill up the rest to make it
Yeah.
symmetrical. So if the first row was this, the first column should be G, right?
Yeah.
First row and first column match, second row and second column match. So second row was
Yeah.
this, then second column should have an F here,
Yeah.
and the only thing left is C,
C.
right? So just remember AHG and HBF. That will be enough to fill up the rest of the determinant.
Yeah.
Okay? So this will give you the condition on this has to vanish, this discriminant has to become 0 for this pair of straight lines to be, this equation to mean a pair of straight lines, right?
Yeah.
And once this vanishes, what we have is, we have two lines that will come out basically.
Yeah.
Right? It will be y is equal to m1x plus c1 and say y is equal to m2x plus c2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How will it come out? What does it mean that two lines will come out? It means that this can be factorized into two equations which are
Two
lines.
equations. Yeah.
So basically
Two
we can say
lines.
y minus m1x plus
Yeah.
c1 multiplied by y minus m2x plus c minus c2 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Should be 0. This is the same equation as this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, when you get solutions of that quadratic, those are factors, no? You can write it as factors, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just like if you get a solution for this equation, suppose x is equal to 1 and 2, you can say that x minus 1 and x minus 2 are factors, no?
Yeah.
Right? So similarly,
Yeah.
when you got solutions y is equal to this and this, then y minus this and y minus this are factors, right?
Yeah.
So basically this is a representation of the same equation, right? So
Yeah.
what we are saying ultimately is that the 2-degree big equation can be broken down into two linear factors,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
the condition
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
condition for that is this, right?
Yeah.
And what is nice to remember here is that those two straight lines will always satisfy this property. Right?
Yeah.
So you can immediately, if you know that it is a line pair, you can immediately know the slopes of the lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because from looking at this, you can say minus 2h by b value, you can pick off from here.
Yeah.
Sum of the slopes you will get and product of the slopes you will get as a by b, right?
Yeah.
So then immediately you will be able to find m1 and m2, right? Correct? Without even actually solving it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if m1 plus m2 is equal to minus 2h by b and m1 m2 is equal to a by b, the standard way to find m1 and m2 is first find m1 minus m2 is equal to root over m1 plus m2 whole square minus 4 times m1 m2.
Yeah.
So that will become equal to 4h square by b square minus 4a by b, right?
B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is becoming equal to 2 into root over h square minus AB by B, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct. So
Yeah,
M1
yeah.
minus M2. And once you have M1 minus M2, actually we have already solved it there, no?
Yeah.
Like we already knew that M1 was minus H plus root over H square minus AB by B, and M2 was,
Yeah. And then this.
we have already derived it, no?
Yeah.
We don't need to do that again. But this is important to know because sometimes you need to find the angle between the two straight lines, right?
Yeah.
The equation can be given and you can be told that this is a line pair, find the angle between the two straight lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then tan theta will be equal to m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2, right?
Yeah.
So that will be equal to m1 minus m2 is this 2 times root over h square minus ae by b divided by 1 plus a by b, right?
Yeah.
That becomes equal to 2 root over h square minus ab by a plus b. So this is a result that you need to know. That angle between the two straight lines is always this.
Okay.
So you need to know 1 this, 2 this, and 3 this. Angle between the two straight lines.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Given, and obviously you need to know the general equation and del. Del is equal to 0.
Yeah. Fine.
For it to be a straight line, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
actually, theoretically,
Yeah.
this is it. This is pair of straight lines. Nothing more is there. So one concept we will discuss quickly, which is called homogenization.
Okay.
Homogenization. But before that, okay, one or two more things are there. I'll just discuss those. Before homogenization, we'll do, what if the equation given to you was just this much? Okay.
Okay.
This is my equation. And
Yeah.
people are asking us, what is the pair of straight lines representing this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anytime you are given a question where there is a 2-degree equation that has been given and you are being asked what is the line pair and all, no?
Yeah.
So there are two fast ways to do it. Okay, two fast ways to find the line equations. Okay.
Yeah.
One way is
Yeah.
if you can look at the equation and factorize it. Look at the equation and if you're able to factorize it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Factorize it into linear parts, right?
Yeah.
Then you are done. Those are the line equations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you are not able to factorize it by looking at it, then the best way is to basically just solve it as a quadratic. Don't even think.
Okay.
You understand? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
the way you solve, we actually solved the big equation, no?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah,
equation
yeah.
should be fairly straightforward to solve, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Solve it as a quadratic either in x or in y.
Okay.
So suppose I want to solve it in y. So by square plus 2hx into y plus ax square, right?
Yeah.
So this is my quadratic in y, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
y will be equal to minus b
Minus 2h.
plus minus root over b square. So 4h square x square minus 4 into a into x square into b, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Divided by 2
2b.
into b, correct?
Yeah.
Y will be equal to minus hx plus minus x root over h square minus ab, right?
Yeah.
By b, right?
B. Yeah, B.
So see, this becomes minus h plus minus root over h square minus ab by b into x, right?
Yeah.
This is actually two lines, no? Because plus minus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now notice that this is just m1x and m2x,
Yeah.
right?
2x. Mm.
So what is special about it is that it is passing through the origin.
Yeah. Okay.
Both the lines here pass through the origin.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? right? See, there is no constant term. No?
Yeah.
It is y is equal to mx and all, right?
Hmm.
And notice that the slopes are still the same, right?
Yeah.
There is no difference. It's the same equation only. Nothing has changed, right?
Yeah.
Only thing is that those terms have disappeared, the constant terms, right?
Yeah.
So you still have all of those conditions. M1 plus M2 is equal to minus 2h by b. M1, M2 is equal to a by b. And tan theta is equal to 2 times root over h square minus ab by a plus b. Tan theta is the angle between the two lines.
Yeah.
Right? You still have all those conditions. Those are still valid. And we have basically figured out that this equation means two straight lines passing through the origin. Right?
Yeah.
So what have we learned? We have learned that this general equation represents two arbitrary straight lines sometimes. Two arbitrary straight lines if del is equal to 0, right?
Yeah.
And this equation represents two straight lines through the origin.
Yeah.
Through the origin. Now, here, let's think about what is my del value here. Del is A, B, C, but C is 0, no?
Yeah.
A into B into 0. There is no C term, right?
It's
Plus 2 FGH. FGH are also missing.
Yeah.
Minus A F square 0. Minus B G square 0.
Zero.
C H square 0, right?
0. Yeah.
So in this equation, it is always 0, no del?
Yeah.
Because so many terms are only missing. Your G, F, C are already 0, right?
Yeah.
Because of which that discriminant is always 0, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you get a homogeneous, see, this equation therefore always represents two straight lines through the origin, no?
Yeah.
Always. There is no ifs and buts here, right? Here there could be other choices. Del could not be 0, right? But here there is no such situation. So what we want to notice here is that this equation is special because it is a homogeneous equation, homogeneous polynomial. Homogeneous in the sense that degree of each term is same.
Okay.
Each term is 2. See?
Yeah.
Each term has 2 degree, no?
Yeah.
Whenever you get a homogeneous equation in 2 degrees, right? In 2 variables, it has to be a straight line passing through the origin. 2 straight lines passing through the origin.
Yeah.
Okay. It will not be any arbitrary straight lines. They have to pass through origin. Okay?
Yeah.
Because we have understood why it has happened, right? Because the del is always 0. Correct? So now we are ready for the homogenization part. So suppose, hello, Akhil? One sec. Akhil, are you there?
Yes, sir. I have connection issues, so I got disconnected.
How much have you missed?
Like
last how many minutes?
I think 3 or 4.
Did you see that we saw that this equation
yeah, I saw that.
Represents a line pair through the origin, right?
Yeah.
So we were saying that through the origin, did you see that we were writing del for it? No.
No, I didn't see that part.
So what I'm saying is, if you think of writing the del for this, right? So see that it is equal to A into B into C, right? But C is 0, no? There is no C.
Yeah.
Here G, F, C are 0, right?
Yes.
Plus 2 F, G, H, so that is entirely vanished. Minus A into F square minus B into G square minus C into H square, everything disappears, no?
Yeah.
So this equation will always be a line, no, because del is always 0.
Yeah.
This equation will always be a line pair, okay? And that is an interesting condition, because now whenever you see a homogeneous equation in 2 degree, so what is the meaning of homogeneous equation in 2 degree? In 2 degree, so you have two variables, but every term has degree 2, no? See, degree 2, because 1 1, right? And degree 2,
Yeah.
right? So every
Yeah.
term is a 2 degree term. Anytime you get an equation like that in x and y, it will always be a line pair through the origin.
Okay.
Because if you solve this equation, you will get y is equal to some m1x and m2x. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
You can solve it for y or x, anyone, right? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we'll come to this idea of homogenization. So homogenization is using this idea only, that an equation in x and y in 2 degree, which is homogeneous, must represent a pair of straight lines through the origin. Must represent a pair of straight lines through the origin. Okay.
Yeah.
So this idea will be used. So the point is that let's say we have a curve. So I'm going to write a curve here. This is called an ellipse. We'll see that soon. So let's say we have a curve like this: x squared plus a squared plus y squared by b squared is equal to 1, right?
Yeah.
This is an ellipse. And let's say we have a straight line. Y is equal to x plus 1, suppose, right?
Yeah.
Then this straight line cuts the ellipse in 2 points, P and Q. Cuts the ellipse in 2 points, P and Q. So this point is called P and this point is called Q, right?
Yeah.
Now, the question is asking you, let's say this is my y-axis and x-axis. Find the angle between, and this is origin, find the angle between OP and OQ.
Okay.
This angle. Or it can couch the question in a slightly different way so that you don't realize what it is asking. It can say line segment PQ subtends theta at the origin.
Yeah.
Line segment PQ subtends angle theta at the origin. Right?
Yeah.
Correct. That is basically meaning that OP and OQ line have an angle between them is theta, right?
Yeah.
So your question could be find theta. Okay.
Yeah.
So a normal approach to this question would be, okay, I need to find angle between 2 lines, right? So I need the slope of this line and I need the slope of this line, right?
Yeah.
And to find the slope, I need this point, right? I need this point and I can find the slope, right?
Yeah.
So a normal approach would be to try to solve and find P and Q, right? How will you solve? You'll use this straight line equation in this, right?
Yeah.
This is a curve. This point P and Q lies on both the line and the curve, right?
Yeah.
So you'll solve it by actually substituting y is equal to x plus 1 there.
Yeah.
And then getting an equation in x, you will solve that. You'll get 2 values of x, right? And then you'll put back the values of y and you'll get P and Q, right?
Yeah.
Once you get P and Q, you will write the slope M1, write the slope M2, and then you can take the angle between them. Right?
Yeah.
That is the normal way, but sometimes in some questions, it is much faster to do a slightly different way to do it, because this solving could be painful, finding P and Q. Okay?
Yeah.
Because the equation equation could be much more complicated than this.
Yeah.
Okay, like for example, like right now it is looking like this. This is an ellipse, which is a standard ellipse with an easy equation. Sorry. But if I had an equation like this, right?
Yeah.
Then it is a nightmare, no?
Yeah.
Solve it with this line now, right?
Mm.
Now it is
Yeah,
painful.
yeah.
Finding the point only will take a long time. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So after that, you cannot do anything else, right?
Mm.
But even in this case, there is a method called homogenization which will rescue you, because ultimately what you need is angle between OP and OQ, right?
Yeah.
P and Q, and this is my origin, right?
Mm.
So notice that OP and OQ are a line pair, right? Passing through the
Yeah.
origin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
OP and OQ is an equation of a pair of straight lines through the origin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if I got if I knew the equation of pair of straight lines through the origin, right? So it would be, let's write it something like capital A x square plus 2 capital H xy plus capital B y square, right?
Yeah.
A pair of straight lines through the origin will always have this form. It will not have any other terms, right?
Mm.
Correct?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we saw that earlier, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I can easily find angle between them because I know formula for that, no?
Yeah.
So all I have to do is find the equation for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
An angle between them can be picked off from the coefficients,
Yeah.
right? Because I have
Yes,
derived this
yes.
formula, right? So the job is homogenization. Homogenization, basically what it does is it gives you a fast way to find the equation of this OP-OQ line pair,
Okay.
avoiding actually finding P and Q.
Okay. Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
The normal standard
Yeah,
is to
yeah.
find P and Q and then do everything. But homogenization gives you a way to find the equation directly without finding P and Q.
Mm.
So the method is this. So let's say this is my situation, right? So
Yeah.
this is my ellipse and this is my line, which cuts the ellipse in 2 points, right? So what I will do is I will try to, okay, I'll do it on the next page. X square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. And line is y is equal to x plus 1. Now, what I'm trying to do here is P and Q. I'm trying to solve the line and the ellipse, but not really solve it. Use the two equations to get the OP-OQ equation.
Okay.
Okay. How will I use it? I know that OP-OQ has to become a homogeneous equation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is currently not a homogeneous equation. Why? Because 1 is a constant term.
Yeah.
The first term is 2
Yeah,
degree,
yeah.
the second term is 2 degree, third term is 0 degree. This is currently not a homogeneous equation, right?
Yes.
This is 1 degree, 0 degree, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to make a homogeneous equation by using this and this, right? If I use both the two equations, that means I'm capturing the information that the line is cutting the ellipse, right?
Yeah.
Like ultimately, if you were solving it, you would have fit that equation into that, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I am using this and this to create a homogeneous equation, then I am again fitting that into this, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same process ultimately, but you are just not doing some unnecessary steps, okay?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now is how can I make this a homogeneous equation, right? So what I will do is y by x plus 1 is equal to 1.
Yeah.
And I will say x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to y by x plus 1 whole square. Because this is 1, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I need a 2 degree term, no? So I can multiply by as many times 1 as possible, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this will ensure that this is always 2 degree. No, everything is 2 degree here,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? So what will happen now is y square by x plus 1. Okay, I think I made a mistake. This is not a good way because it will become 4 degree, right?
Yeah.
You understand? This
Yeah,
denominator is ruining it,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Y
Yeah.
minus x.
Y minus x is equal to 1 is much better. You understand? You understand why what I did first was wrong, because it is making a denominator, no? So that ruins it. So I will do instead y minus x is equal to 1, and I will do x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to y minus x whole square.
Yeah.
Now there is no problem,
Mm.
because now this becomes y square plus x square minus 2xy, and this side is x square by a square plus y square by b square,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and this equation will now become x square into 1 by a square minus 1 plus y square into 1 by b square minus 1 plus 2xy is equal to 0,
XY.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. This is
Yes.
already a homogeneous equation,
Yeah.
right?
And
So it must be the line pair OP and OQ,
yeah.
because we are utilizing all the information given in the question. You are utilizing the P point and Q point should come when you solve this and this, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if this is an equation that we have gotten, then it's a homogeneous equation. This means it's a line pair passing through origin. So which 2 points should it pass through? It should obviously pass through P and Q, right?
P and Q. Yeah.
Because that is what you have used, the line and the ellipse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the line pair, and now my angle is super easy because tan theta will just be 2 times root over h square minus ab. Here h is 1, right? Because 2hxy.
Yeah.
So h is 1. So 1 square minus ab. A is this. A is 1 by a square minus 1, and b is 1 by b square minus 1, right? By a plus b. A plus b is 1 by a square minus 1 plus 1 by b square minus 1.
Yeah.
So immediately now you get an expression which tells you the angle. No, it is in terms of constant things. A
Yeah.
and B.
Yes.
So if some values were given, I can find the answer also.
Yeah.
Right? I have not yet found what point P and Q are, right?
Yeah.
I have just directly solved it and found the
Yeah,
equation of the OP OQ thing. Right?
Yeah.
So that process, this process is homogenization, and it is basically, what are we doing? We are homogenizing this equation, right? Using this line. Using the line, we are homogenizing the curve, right?
Yeah.
And now that we know that a homogeneous equation in 2 degree represents a pair of straight lines through the origin, now we can use that fact to our advantage and find out results from it, whatever we need, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So that is the theory of this straight lines and pair of straight lines. Now what you should do is, wait, I will tell you. SL Loney, for example, has some exercises. What I want you guys to try is exercise number 14 in SL Loney. It is on page number 96. Page number 96 in my book. Some editions might be different. It is just after article 126.
Yeah.
Article 126. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is first thing to do. And notice, understand here that the examples in SL Loney, they are direct questions have been asked in your. Okay, so exercise 14 and exercise 13 also you can try.
Okay.
Exercise 13 also you can try. Direct questions have been asked in your Allen tests from this. Like, for example, what I can tell you is that last year I was teaching some students, and this question was asked. Example 3 on page 96. Example 3 on page 96 was a question in one of the Allen advanced tests.
Okay.
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 So notice that sometimes these examples are super important, and if you try the exercises, then you will get a hang of what is happening also. And so let's discuss one of these examples. Like for example, let's just do example 3. Okay. Prove that two of the straight lines represented by the equation ax cube plus bx square y plus cxy square plus dy cube is equal to 0 will be at right angles if a square plus ac plus bd plus d square is equal to 0, right? That is the question, right?
Yeah.
Now here, think about it. Notice this equation. Now, actually, this is a cubic equation.
Yeah.
Every term is degree 3, right?
Yeah.
If it is degree
Yes.
3, when it was degree 2, it was 2 lines, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Degree 3, it should be 3 lines, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Because if I multiply 3 lines, I should get I should get a
3
cubic,
degrees.
right?
Yeah.
This would become a cubic, right?
Yeah.
So that is what is actually happening here. And notice that one nice thing about this is it is homogeneous. There is no 2 degree term or 0 degree term or 1 degree term, right?
Yeah.
So again, by the theory that we have just now learned, if it is homogeneous, it passes through the origin, right?
Yeah.
If it was not homogeneous, no, the question is too hard then, because it would become like this, right? There are too many unknowns then, right?
Yeah.
There are 6 variables now.
Yeah.
But the question is not like that. It is homogeneous. So there are only 3 unknowns then. Correct?
Yeah.
So what we can say is that this must represent lines passing through the origin. And one nice way to get it is, why don't we just divide by x cube throughout, right? So then we get a plus b y by x, right? Plus c y square by x square plus d y cube by x cube, right? Is equal to 0. And take y by x as a variable, right? Y by x is equal to m. Let's take it as m variable, right? So what is the equation? It becomes m cube d plus m square c plus m into b plus a is equal to 0.
Yeah.
This is a cubic equation, so it should have 3 roots.
Yeah.
M1, M2, and M3.
Yeah.
And those 3 roots would be the 3 slopes, no?
Yeah.
Right? Correct?
Yeah.
And now, because it's a cubic equation and 3 roots are there, I know results on sum of the roots, product of the roots and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I can say, if my equation is m cube d plus m square c plus m into b, right?
Yeah, MB.
Plus d cube plus d, right? Plus d. Correct?
Plus A, right?
Oh, plus a.
Yeah.
A is equal to 0. Then what results do I have? I have m1 plus m2 plus m3 is equal to minus
C
by
C by D.
m1 m2 plus m2 m3 plus m3 m1 is equal to b by d.
Yeah.
And m1 m2 m3 is equal to
minus
a by d, right?
Yeah.
Now in the question, what we have understood here is that m is given and m stands for slope of those 3 lines, right?
Yeah.
So in the question it is saying that 2 of them are perpendicular to each other. So let's say those 2 are m1 and m2.
Yeah, okay.
So then M1, M2 should be equal to -1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that will mean that suddenly M3 is equal to A by D, right?
Yeah.
Right? M3 is
Yeah,
equal to A by
yeah.
D. And let's use this here also. So we can say that M1, M2 -1 plus M3 common M1 plus M2 is equal to B by D, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
M1 plus M2 is equal to M1 plus M2 is equal to minus C by D minus
Minus
M3,
M2.
which is A by D, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing also we'll put it here now, right? So
Yeah.
-1 plus M3 is A by D into minus C minus A by D is equal to B by D, right?
D by D. Yeah.
Multiply by D square everywhere. So minus D square plus A into minus C minus A is equal to BD.
Yeah.
So you get B minus D square minus AC minus A square is equal to BD. So you get A square plus AC plus BD minus D square is equal to 0.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We have made some silly mistake because of which some sign mistake has happened, but otherwise it is correct.
It's plus D square, right?
Plus D square. It's correct only. Everything is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, so sometimes it is not necessary that just now because you have only learned pair of straight lines, you cannot solve a triple of straight lines, right?
Yeah.
This is like a 3 straight lines equation question.
Yeah.
The principles remain the same. Ultimately, you are saying that y minus m1x into y minus m2x into y minus m3x is equal to the equation that was given to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So ultimately you're trying to factorize it or solve it for y, right? In general, you don't know a way to solve a cubic, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you can guess some root and all, then maybe you can solve a quadratic instead, right?
Yeah.
So suppose I have y minus x into y minus 2x and y minus 3x, right? It can be, this equation can be couched in a nice way where you can be given y square minus 5xy plus 6x square and multiply it out. If you multiply it out, right, it will become a cubic, which will not look like it is some easy thing, right? You understand? But if you can guess that one of the roots is y minus x, then remaining you can take out and factorize, right?
Yeah.
So the point of the whole thing is that if they are homogeneous equations, the lines will pass through the origin. Homogeneous equation, if it is, no matter what you do, every term here will have degree 3.
Yeah.
And if they are not homogeneous equations, then there will be more general cases. In that case, the only thing that is feasible to solve is the 2-degree one that we have done.
Yeah.
And the results that we derived in the beginning, those are all valid. So exercise 13 and 14, these exercises you should try now.
Okay.
And what we will continue with in the next classes, we will not do right now the transformation wala chapter, the next one. We'll not do that immediately. What we will do is we'll go to circles. And basically in SL Loni, it is chapter 8 and chapter 9.
Yeah.
It is article number 120, 140 something, 138, article 138 to article 187, and you can exclude articles 175, 176 and 177 from there.
Okay.
So around 40-50 articles are there in the chapter, and from now onwards, from circle chapter onwards, we'll be closely following Loni.
Okay.
So the homework that will be assigned will not be from the motion sheets, it will be from the SL exercise.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay. Yeah.
So right now, try exercise 13 and 14. I will not start circles today because already there's too much theory. So try whatever questions you saw at the end of your exercise 1, 2, 3, 4 in motion, right?
Yeah.
There were some line pair equation questions,
Yeah.
right? Try those. Try exercise 13, 14. That will be useful. And next week onwards, we are going to start our circles thing.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Circles, and after that there is parabola, ellipse, hyperbola. We have to go as much as we can in this book. We'll basically try to do till chapter number first round. We'll basically try to do till chapter number 13. 14 we'll try to do 13, 14.
Okay.
So we have to go from 8 to 13 basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is coordinate geometry, and keep in mind that many things from this book are asked in indirect ways in your tests and all. Okay, so do it as well as you can. Like, even if it is a little slow, do the exercises. Don't do repetitive stuff. Okay, when you're doing SL loading, don't do like if there is a previous question which is exactly same, then don't do the same thing again, right?
Yeah.
Because your time is limited. So sometimes in this old books and all, there are many practice exercises which are exactly same.
Yeah.
So if there are 40 questions, there might be like 25 which are interesting or different. There might be 15, 20 filler questions. Don't do the filler questions, which is just another version of the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't expect you to do one question everything, but what I want you guys to do is to try every type of question that is there.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything new, anything different, so you should definitely attempt.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. We will do chemistry. We'll continue with gaseous state on Thursday, and we'll go a little more in depth there.
Okay.
In school, it is happening, no, in Alan for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. How much has been done?
We reached real gases.
Okay.
Yeah.
You reached real gases.
Yeah.
So they have assigned homework and all.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll continue there, and we'll look at a little bit of Atkins. And Atkins, it is chapter 1. Okay. Chapter 1 has 3 parts: 1A, 1B, 1C. And if you read a little bit of that, it should be done. Like, it is actually more than what is required, but 1A, 1B, 1C in Atkins is the gaseous state chapter. So read a little bit, especially 1B and 1C. If you read a little bit, it will be useful, because there will be stuff about kinetic theory of gases and real gases stuff. So you should get familiar with it a little bit. We'll discuss it on Thursday. Okay.
Wait, sir. So now onwards, all the classes are gonna be in the weekdays itself.
No, I mean, right now there is a lot of confusion and problems, but I mean, it is up to whatever is convenient for you guys.
Okay.
Like, if there is a change in schedule and if some slots open up, I am open to changing. It's not a problem for me. Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever is convenient for all 3 of you, that only will do. So for now, it seems like this is the time slot that everyone is free. So if it is not like that, and if it changes, then let me know. We can fix up something else also.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
But it has to work out for me also. So
Yeah.
In the mornings and all, early mornings and all, nobody is free. Yeah?
Early morning.
School is there.
No.
Before 12.
Before 12, Bhavesh has classes and all.
Yeah, Bhavesh.
Yeah. Start at 9.
Bhavesh, you have classes, no?
Yeah, at 9.
9 a.m. Monday to Friday or Saturday also?
I don't have class on Wednesday.
You don't have classes on Wednesday. And Saturday, Sunday?
Sunday I have class in morning. Saturday I don't.
Okay. It's okay. As long as this is working, it's fine. I don't think
Hmm.
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
problem. Yeah. But if any other slot opens up, then let me know. We'll discuss and change it if needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Hmm.
Bye, sir.
Hmm.
That's